what you did in that situation, and the impact or outcome it had on patients. Now keep it very simple, 150 words max. Mainly clicking apply, 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 apply. Use the chat GPT as a basic framework. A successful job application is when you get shortlisted for an interview, and it's a combination of 40% a very well targeted CV, 30% matching your skills to each and every job that you apply, and 30% discipline of application. It sounds simple, but in reality most IMGs approach it in a completely wrong way. They get exhausted and they're unsure how to match their CV to the job advert. So in this video, I'll break it down into 3 simple fundamental pillars. Prepare your documents properly. Number 2, understanding the actual job application process. And number 3, discipline of applying, the part that most people ignore. Number 1, preparing your documents. This is the foundation. If your documents are wrong, the whole application collapses. You need 3 things to be done perfectly: a targeted CV, a selection criteria, an application form, questions with examples from your own experiences, and a short and a powerful cover letter, which some jobs may still require in a form of an email response or sometimes a separate cover letter. Now, matching your experience and skills to the job is much harder than you can imagine. Most doctors write one generic CV and send it to 50 jobs. This is now how you get shortlisted. Let me tell you a simple way. Every job comes with a problem that the hospital wants to solve. Your CV must be the solution to that problem. Example, for a junior doctor, RMO rotational jobs. If you're applying, let's say you're applying for a role which includes rotation like emergency medicine, obs and gynae, surgery, and pediatrics. Your CV must show your skill set relevant to all of these rotations. Emergency medicine, you may highlight like, I'm accredited with ACLS, BLS, and pediatric life support courses. I am also well versed with the process of triage, early prioritization, and escalation. My documentation shows the accuracy as related to the clinical presentation of the patient. I can manage common ED presentation with confidence and seek appropriate advice where it's needed. And I'm a good communicator when it comes to the communication with the nurses, with the senior doctors, and referral with the team member. This ticks 90% of ED shortlisting requirement. For example, the next job is ONG. Highlight whatever exposure that you've had. It doesn't really matter whether your exposure was at an intern level, medical student level, RMO level, or senior resident, or even consultant matter. It does not matter, but show the skills. I've managed or have seen someone manage an ectopic pregnancy, and these were my learnings. Preeclampsia exposure, antenatal hemorrhage. How did I activate the massive transfusion protocol? How did I and what did I learn from septic miscarriage? And basic obstetric emergencies. If you had an exposure, seeing someone do, your consultant do, or senior registrar do, that's all the part of the game. What about general medicine? Show your experience in management common general medical problem like pneumonia, heart failure, renal failure, conducting ward rounds with your consultant and senior registrars, rationalizing medications, communicating with adult health team like OT, physio, speech, escalating care appropriately. Now, these are the core expectations of all the medical RMO, and if you writing those buzzwords, trust me, you are more likely to get shortlisted for an interview. Now, what about matching for the specialist fellowship jobs? When applying for the specialist position, most candidates fail because they never show their true specialist value. What are they bringing to the table? Now, if you're a stroke fellow, highlight the stroke call, thrombolysis exposure, vascular neurology exposure. If you're a surgeon having had a very unique experience, I don't know, something like robotic surgery, highlight exactly which cases and what systems and what your role was in those specific surgical experiences. That's how you're going to get on to that short-term training that you're yearning for and that post-specialist recognition training experience. Now, hospital want what value will you bring to their service? How does hiring you will improve their department and their hospital services? This is called medical experience by matching your skill set and the hospital expectation. Now, what about responding to the selection criteria? Now, selection criteria must be answered with real examples from your own clinical experience. Your answers should show situation, what you did in that situation, and the impact or outcome it had on patient's life or improvement in its clinical condition. Every criteria is an opportunity to prove I have done the job before, and you can trust me when it comes to the management of, say, catheterizing a patient in acute renal retention or acute myocardial infarction, thrombolizing a patient if I'm working in a rural scenario. What about writing a cover letter? Now, keep it very simple, 150 words max, 2 paragraphs or 3 paragraphs. Now, paragraph 1, who you are, what stage of career you're in, and paragraph number 2, why you're applying for this job, what value do you bring to this job, and what skills do you match. That's it. No stories, no essays, short, sharp, succinct, go for it. Now, section 2, job application process. Now, let's talk about how to actually apply for a job. Create a timetable, pick 3 days a week, for example, Saturday, Monday, or Wednesday. That's just an example. And dedicate 2 focused hours each day. This is your job application discipline cycle. But it's not just about blindly clicking apply, 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 apply. It's the right process. Pick one job, read the job description carefully, modify your CV a little to match that job description that we've just talked about. Check the selection criteria answers and make sure that they stand the test of time, and attach your cover letter and apply. Now remember one thing, people often ask me, can we use ChatGPT? Use the ChatGPT as a basic framework. You should still humanize what's the output from ChatGPT on your own. It should still take time. It should still take emphasis of humanizing that entire person behind that profile. Now, other thing which I'd like to highlight, you cannot send the same CV to every job. That's why the IMGs get no interview. Now, where to apply? Now, in Australia, you must apply through seek.com.au, indeed.com.au, New South Wales Health, Victoria Health, Queensland Health, South Australia Health, Western Australia Health, Tassie Health, Northern Territory Health, and ACT Health. I've covered that before. Jump on their individual website and apply for every job. Now, if you are an IMG who's completed an internship, you should be applying for RMO position. If you've got 1 or 2 years of experience, apply for senior RMO position. If you've got 3 years plus experience, apply for registrar position. And if you're a specialist, apply for fellow positions or specialist jobs, which attract post-specialist accreditation time top up. Now, do not waste time applying for jobs that require general registration, because you wouldn't have general registration coming offshore. Australian PR or citizenship if you don't have it. Completed training in Australia and must be currently working as a consultant in Australia. Don't waste your time there. VMO, staff specialist, and consultant roles, jobs, they are predominantly for the doctors who are actually trained and working in the system. Now, job requiring unrestricted prescribing authorities, if you do not have that, be very honest about it, because you've never worked in the system. If the job criteria excludes you, you skip it. Simple. It'll save time. It'll keep you efficient. Now, section 3, key compliance question. Now, I get approached by the doctors about some question. You'll be asked questions like, are you allowed to work in Australia without sponsorship? They're basically asking about visa, partner visa, or a permanent residency or citizenship. If you don't, say so. Do you have an authority to prescribe S8 medication? They basically ask us if you can prescribe S8 medication, morphine, methadone, fentanyl, benzodiazepine. If you do, say so. If you have any restriction, say so. Have you ever had any restriction on your license or medical registration? Say so if you do. And if you don't, then just say click no and move on. Are you currently registered or eligible to registration? Yes, you're eligible to registration. So just be truthful and straightforward. You don't have to munch around here too much. If you don't understand the question, copy and paste the question ChatGPT. Tell the ChatGPT, I'm an IMG applying for my first job. What would be the answer in terms of yes and no? And they will answer and rationalize it. Trust me, if the job is for IMGs, the hospital will shortlist you and they won't even bother about these specific questions. However, these questions are important because some of these would be important to get you shortlisted. So here's the exact formula. Perfect documentation that matches a job, a structured job application which should be followed routinely, and discipline and consistency is the key. If you follow these 3 pillars, you will start getting interviews, and any one of this interview will lead to that job offer. Look after yourself and each other, and I'll catch you up in the next video. Thank you and goodbye.